All right, welcome back, everybody, to episode 8 of It Burns an IP, the Halloween edition. And as our special guest, we have Lonesome Wyatt from Those Poor Bastards. How are you doing tonight, Lonesome?
Good.
So I thought I'd start out a couple questions. Where did you grow up?
Well, I grew up in the country, in a house. There's a lot of dirt and a lot of cornfields, and that's about all I can say about that.
So what was Lonesome Wyatt like growing up, and did your childhood have any influence on your musical style?
Well, I was a miserable child, and I grew into a miserable adult, so I suppose that might have influenced some of the misery in the music.
And when did you decide to make music your career?
I don't really think of it as a career. It's just kind of something I like to do, and pretty much the only thing I can do. I mean, I can walk and kind of talk, but that's about it.
Your songs are like musical versions of some Southern Gothic literature from Flannery O'Connor and William Faulkner. Do those guys have any inspiration to your lyrics or music?
Yeah, for sure, William Faulkner and Flannery O'Connor, too. Have you read that story about the Misfit? That's a classic one. And besides them, I'd say mostly just depression and desperation, disappointment. Maybe a little disgust, too, goes into the songs.
How did you meet the minister, and how was Those Poor Bastards' musical partnership formed?
Well, the minister doesn't like me to talk about him in interviews. He usually gets upset with what I say about him, so I don't want him to bring the wrath of God or anything down on me, so I better just stay quiet about him.
Okay. One of your songs, Pills I Took, has become one of Hank III's most popular songs and is a staple of his live shows. How did you find his music, and what do you think of his version of Pills I Took?
Well, I just gave him the Country Bullshit CD after one of his shows that he played here in Madison, and I almost left Pills I Took off of that CD because I thought it wasn't as good as the other songs, but I guess that shows what I know. I like Hank III's version a lot because, he turned it into his own song and didn't just make a copy of it or anything. Yeah, I enjoy it.
All right. And speaking of Hank III, you've just got done touring with him in the beginning of October. Do you like to go on tour, and how do you recreate your music on stage?
Yeah, the tour was pretty much a nightmare come true, and Satan tried to stop it a few times, but we all survived, and that's really all you can ask for. For the live shows, I had Vincent Presley along to play the drums on this tour because the minister's given up on the live shows. So live, I guess we had drums, and I played a distorted acoustic guitar. So it has a faster, heavier sound than you hear on the CDs. It's kind of a whole different thing.
Basically, are you saying that maybe the minister has kind of become a recluse, is strictly just an album person and doesn't go on tour, and is kind of a secretive gentleman?
Yeah, he does the recordings, but like I said, he just gave up on the live shows, and he doesn't want anything to do with public appearances or any of that. So,
your most recent Those Poor Bastards album, Hellfire Hymns, it takes on a much different sound than the original Country Bullshit LP and Songs of Desperation. What can we expect from future albums from you guys? Is the band's sound going to change even more?
Well, we always like to try new things on each CD, and each album kind of has its own concept. So I'm sure they'll always be changing. I don't really know what to expect from the future, but I guess it can only get worse.
Are you working on any albums currently?
Yeah, I have a couple here that are pretty much done, and one of them is, right now I'm calling it This World is Evil, and it has, it has kind of that old, rough sound of Hellfire Hymns, and songs of desperation a bit like them, but also, you know, some different drums and stuff in it. And there's a song with Hank 3 that we recorded, and that'll probably be on it. And then there's another one that now I'm calling The Plague, and that one's a lot of drums and piano and kind of a cleaner sound, I guess I'd say. But that one's very different than the rest of them.
Okay. And when do you kind of look for some of those to be released?
Hopefully we'll have at least one of them out by February. See what happens.
Along with your work with Those Poor Bastards, you've collaborated with the likes of Joey Alcorn and the Sons of Perdition, contributing to each of the artists' latest album. Do you have any other collaborations planned for the future, and with whom?
I don't really have anything planned right now, but I've talked with the Sons of Perdition about maybe doing kind of a split album with them, because, you know, their music's just as disgusting as ours, and he fears the Lord as much as we do, so I think it could work out pretty well.
You've also done some playing with the 357 string band as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I just did some backup vocals on their CD on the song Evil on My Mind and Up Jump the Devil. And we have talked about doing a split 7-inch record of them doing a cover of one of our songs called Glory Amen, and us doing a version of their song Evil on My Mind, but hasn't happened yet, but we're trying to make it happen.
And so, Lonesome, we got you on the Halloween show. Why don't you give us your take on the Halloween time of year?
My take on it? I kind of try to stay away from people on that day because you never know what's going to happen. I kind of lock myself in my room and put a sheet over my head and cut holes in it and just pray. I pray hard that night. Pray hard and fast.
So do you fear evil more, or do you feel good more?
Do I feel or fear?
Fear.
I fear both of them. I don't know which one is more. I guess it depends on the time of day. During the day, I kind of, you know, I'm a bit more afraid of Jesus, but then when night comes, you never know. You know, Satan's peeking through the window, and you don't know what he's going to do, so.
All right, Lonesome, it's been a pleasure having you on our Halloween show. I want to let everybody know that they can go to your regular website, which is thosepoorbastards.com, and I do believe they can get any of the albums that you have out. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right. And you also have a MySpace, which is myspace.com/thosepoorbastards as well?
Right.
All right. Well, Lonesome, again, thank you very much, and have a ghoulish Halloween, my friend.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 27 of It Burns When I Pee. And our second interview, special guest, is Lonesome Wyatt from Those Poor Bastards. Wyatt, welcome to your second run on It Burns When I Pee.
Thank you.
Well, I wanted to go ahead and talk a little bit. We talked to Rachel about the new album, A Bitter Harvest, and I wanted to get some opinions from you as well. The first question I have is, what made you decide to team up with Rachel and do this project together?
Well, I met her on the Murder in the Mountains tour that we did last summer, and I got one of her CDs from her during that tour, and I just thought it'd be interesting to hear what our voices sounded like together, because I like her songwriting a lot, and she has an interesting voice, and just wanted to see what it would turn out like.
Yeah, and it turned out to be really amazing. You know, initially when I heard that you two were doing an album, I couldn't put the two sounds together, but instantly on the first song that I listened to, it really worked well. Is this the first time that you've collaborated with a female artist?
It is.
So what is the difference for you between collaborating on the whole album as opposed to doing some individual songs like you've done in the past with like Hank 3 and with Joey Alcorn?
Well, for the whole album, you get to try a lot of different sounds and figure out more what's going to work and what's not going to work, and just spend more time on the entire project.
So you and Rachel both wrote songs for the album. Were all the songs that you had written specifically made for this project? And at the end of the interview, we're going to play your song from the album called Darkness. Can you tell us a little bit about how you went about writing that song?
Sure. I just was trying for an old 50s type ballad, and that's about the story.
Yeah, it was really interesting how you put Rachel's vocals behind it. It really just kept it kind of flowing. It was really a good song.
Thank you.
So the two of you guys are going to go out on a tour at the end of the year to promote the album. What can folks expect out of the show if they get a chance to come and see you guys play?
Well, it's going to be, Rachel's going to play a set first, just her and the acoustic guitar, and then I'm going to play a set of maybe some stuff from the Holy Spooks CD and Those Poor Bastard songs. And then at the end, we're going to sing the songs off Bitter Harvest together. Cool.
Now, you and Rachel made some records available for this, along with the CDs. Do you feel that the album, listening to it on the album as opposed to the CD, kind of offers a better sound to the music, as well as being a collectible?
I'm not sure. I think they sound pretty equal, but I'd prefer the record just because the artwork looks a lot cooler, and you get the lyric sheet insert and all that. It's just more of a complete package.
Yeah, it's kind of like when albums were more popular. It was an experience to look at the album art and open up the sleeve and like you said, look at all the lyrics and stuff. So it's kind of, I think it kind of brings another dynamic to the whole album and the story behind it.
Yeah.
So what other projects do you have going on personally in the next upcoming year?
I have a couple of 7-inch records that I'll probably put out on Halloween, and we're working on the next Those Poor Bastards album too, which will hopefully come out probably the first half of next year, and that's going to be it's mostly just banjo and organ on that one, so it's a different kind of sound.
Well, another thing I wanted to talk to you about when we kind of go back to live shows, what do you think that the fans get from seeing you live as opposed to hearing the record? Because your albums, the songs are very intricate and have a lot of different aspects to them. When you play them on stage, what's kind of the different feel that the listeners will get?
Well, the live ones are just more bare bones. There's no things aren't multi-tracked and all that. There's not all the different instruments playing single notes and stuff. It's just for the shows with Rachel, it's just going to be me on the acoustic guitar with some distortion on it. So it's just really you get to hear the songs bare bones.
Kind of like how they were written. They were.
Yeah, pretty much how I wrote them.
And so when you're writing, do you use just a guitar and then you kind of just add everything after that?
Yeah, I usually start on the acoustic guitar, and sometimes I write them on the organ, but mostly it's the acoustic guitar.
Now you, for me, you are an artist that is constantly putting out new stuff. I mean, there's not a long wait in between your albums, and they always have a fresh feel. It's not like the same songs over and over. What do you kind of contribute to your ability to produce so much art and in such a rapid fashion?
Well, I'm always trying to take in different music, and I'm always interested in experimenting with new sounds and stuff. I try not to repeat myself too much, so I don't know, just when I get an idea for something, I just kind of go with it, and I have a lot of time on my hands, so I just end up with all these songs, and I don't know.
So where can people go to get the new album, A Bitter Harvest, with you and Rachel Brooke?
The best place is thosepoorBastards.com, but it's on CD Baby and Amazon and iTunes, all those digital places and stuff.
Okay, and are the limited edition records still available?
No, we sold out of those white ones, but we still have some of the black ones left.
Well, Wyatt, thank you very much for the second run. Like you said, you're kind of the good luck charm, I guess. But
yeah, no problem.
It was a pleasure having you on the show, and congratulations on the new album with you and Rachel. It's just a fresh twist, and it was kind of, I think, kind of unexpected in a way, and it really turned out to be a really, really good album.
All right, cool. Thanks a lot.